Hello my brethren, I hope you're all well. There is a reason as to why I'm using this greeting, guys, and that would be apparent at the very end. In this video, I want to talk about the spoken and unspoken need of maternal love, and the inspiration of safety it promotes, which is the birthplace of male mother need. So let's talk about the maternal love and how that plays into the experience of the adult male. A helpless, hairless baby human ape is born and placed from the midwife's arms on its mother's chest. The chemical reaction that takes place is one of evolution's best designs. Oxytocin floods a woman's brain, causing love bonds with the helpless infant, and that bond continues to flourish every time that infant touches his mother, sucks on her breasts, and every time the mother smells her baby infant, oxytocin is released. Every time, like an addict, that affection from the mother gives her and the baby later, the child and the teenager, pleasure. This bond is mutual and instinctive, although initially develops slower for the hairless ape. By the age of 1 or 2, that hairless ape cries every time a stranger approaches and prefers his mom to everyone else. There is a unique connection between child and mother. This connection is very important as it's mutual and beneficial both to the mother and to the child. The mother protects her genes, making sure that they make it to the next generation, and the child, because it's helpless and requires its mother's assistance until it's eventually old enough to feed itself and care for itself. That child becomes a boy and a girl. The boy and the girl continues to grow and the bond continues to flourish, although it's weaker than it was before. The baby boy learns to acknowledge his mother as the ideal female in his mind. Every female from that point on will be compared to his mother. His mother's behavior will be the benchmark at which all women will be compared to. Her shaming tactics, abuse, man-up attitudes, her cuddles and support and love. The unconditional presence in that baby boy's life will be the expectation that that grown man will have out of all females he will ever come to cross in his path. This simple yet addictive presence of oxytocin and dopamine in the baby's and the mother's brains can lead to a supportive mother who will be there for you for the majority of your life. Forget about the love that women declare to your fathers. The real love for a woman comes when that child touches her for the first time. I was the firstborn, and my mother distinctly describes the moment. She never felt anything like it before. Nothing and anyone was more precious to her than I was at that point in time. This is how evolution works, and this is how our biology works, and this is where all the problems start. I know that some of you have not had supportive mothers. I know that for some of you, your mother's love became conditional after a while. I know that your memories are of later times than your early childhood, but the behaviors of your mothers at that very early age can create your gender identity and the female and male role models in your life. You learn to expect certain things from men and certain things from women, and at those early ages of 3 and 4 and maybe a bit later on, your gender identity has been completely formed. Your gender roles have been identified and their behavior has been imprinted in your subconscious. There are no documented facts on this, no real scientific research has been done to pinpoint exactly as to when that shit happens, but it's presumed that it happens very early on in a person's life. So the boy grows up to be a man, and the man learns to search for his mother's love, his mother's affection, and his mother's touch. Though the sexual aspect may be seen as an odd addition to this, we must understand that the emotional aspect of any bond is virtually identical. Exactly the same neurotransmitters are involved and the same pathways are triggered when forming an emotional attachment to a person. It is thus beneficial to understand that Our brains form this categorization optimization whereabout they put male and females into categories. The very top people in those categories are our mothers and fathers. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Nature is what nature is. At least for boys, the reality is that their mother's love will never be found again. The unconditional love that poems and songs have been written for is not the reality we have come to live by. Even with the most passionate of loves, even in the most ideal of relationships, this is never the case. You will offer, you will idolize, you will be by her side, but she will never love you. Not like your mother loved you. You will sacrifice, you will fight, but that idealistic love will never be. She will never understand you or want you despite all your flaws and all your weaknesses. Our world's greatest fallacy is that there is love to be found in the form that we seek it. Men and women love differently, yet as boys and men even, we still expect our mother's love. Once a man and a woman speak those 3 words to each other, each one has a different idea of what they mean, and yet they both believe it. I honestly believe that women themselves initially believe that they will love a man through thick and thin, but something inside of them teaches them otherwise as they grow older and see men who are persuaded of this idealistic love and show them their weaker side as an effort to explain to them that they're human too. Even they're shocked on how quickly their emotions change, and I have discussed this many times with my female friends as to how shocking it is for them that they no longer like that man who professed his love and sacrificed for them. But nature is as nature is. This delusion, this search for that idealistic love is the driving force of men everywhere. It's the force that drives men to work and slave away to fund the search for that woman. Like a drug addict, a man will work his extra hours, will fix the house, will clean the shed, will take out the garbage, will cook dinner to be worthy of it, in order to receive snippets of appreciation. A pat on the back, a lousy fuck for which he should learn to be grateful for. Maybe, just maybe, if I do a bit more. Maybe if I'm just that little bit better, then she will love me forever. Maybe she will be with me forever. And the downfall for this man is shattering to watch. When those women are fed up of having a servant and not, quote, real man, end quote, these good boys in the bodies of grown men, like addicts, search panicked for their next fix, in hope again for love. The trail of broken relationships, engagements, and marriages do not teach these men the truth. They are addicted to it and have been addicted to it since the day that they were born. Worse, their addiction was fed by society who promotes this servitude. There are few films portraying the realities of real-life relationships and real-world experience for men. Our generation of men were the ones that were protected, the ones that grew up with Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy, shielded away from the real world as much as our parents could keep up the act. We were protected from viewing death and destruction. Our parents thought of us as precious little creatures, too immature to deal with the realities, so much so that reality hit us so hard when we became adults. We had to adapt quickly and teach the world to ourselves. We learned what was expected of us, but had no tools to act the role. We were lied to and expected to function, despite how broken we were by the realities of a world that doesn't work like we thought it did. We're all winners, yet life is full of very few winners and billions of losers. Our generation is full of broken dreams, of boys and girls who were told they could be anything, yet became nothing. Of people who learn to idolize pop idols and charlatans, of people who still look for ways to insert meaning to a meaningless life. We all try to find our God, we are in search of the magic to make this life bearable. Because the bluntness of it all, the realization that there is no love for you. Once your parents are gone if they're not already gone from your life, there will be no one left that will truly love you but you. It is depressingly soul-crushing. Think of this. Why have we come to learn that we deserve anything? Why have we come to deserve to be loved if we're nice? Why have we learned to expect rewards for our achievements? Why have we come to expect others to be happy with our progress? That's because there were people that always cheered us on, people who loved us, people who cared for us. We're all too protected for our own well-being. We're all nurtured to be obedient slaves, and it was done across the board. We're all taught that it's good enough if we just tried. We're all taught that it's all fine if we just compete. We didn't have to be the best. Mommy would love us nonetheless. And yet, even mommy didn't love daddy nonetheless. Your woman never loved you nonetheless. Actually, nothing in your life ever became a reality because of nonetheless. You fought tooth and nail, long hours, worked and worked, and when you expected your woman, when something failed, to tell you she would love you nonetheless, then she was gone. She was somewhere else. She left, and you didn't understand why. You see, mommy loved you nonetheless. We were oppressed with abundance, with the expectation of love that took place from actual and unconditional love. We were shielded from the world to be crushed later on by it. We were prevented to see suffering only to learn to suffer ourselves quietly. And this was not done by our parents. It wasn't done on purpose because they were evil or something. They wanted us to have much more magic in our lives than they did. They wanted what was best for us, but they ended up preparing us the least for what we have come to live by and what we have come to expect from this world. Read the newspapers. Read the newspapers, guys. This world is no longer for adults. This world of political correctness, it's not made for adults, for people with strong opinions and strong personal identities. This world is made for children. The children of everybody wins. The children who never learn to fight but learn to get their way. This world is full of social justice warriors who can't even look at pictures without getting triggered. This world is full of self-important, absent-minded multitaskers who value the cover and not the content. And I'm not talking about women, brothers, I'm talking about men too. We fear adversity by promoting diversity, yet we fear change and we promote the different. Nothing in this world makes sense. We hold no opinions and yet we shout as loudly as we can when our feelings are hurt by an opinion, by words. We're babies and crybabies at that. Yes, we have all those excuses there that we weren't prepared, that we were shielded and protected, and yet when the world hits us, when we had to act and learn to fight, we turned away and shied away from all the controversy. What if we looked for that love that never was? What if, as children, we run into the waves and almost got drowned? We are still here, we are still breathing, we can fight and we can see the world. Our pain is just our pain. We want to live long enough to endure actual and proper physical pain. The suffering is the reality and the path needs only to be walked a step at a time. What if we are addicts chasing our addiction and our next fix? What if despite what we know, we still from time to time want that female touch? What if this is how things will be? What if biology meant it to be like this? What if living without the illusion is just too hard? What if it's just easier if you just were to replug back into the matrix? We have spent our entire lives stuck in that reality, in the reality of constant hurt, of delusionary and magical thinking. We were thinking of princesses and rainbows. We were dreaming of dragons to slay to impress our princess. We looked at the stars and dreamed that we could at some point travel up there. We dreamed to be all we could be, and life beat you and me the fuck down. Well, my brothers, good morning. Reality is here. Your mother's love is gone. Your future wife is gone. Your worldview is now nullified and void. You have a new check to write and a new way to find. What will it be? What is your reality? The eyes that you have now see the world. They no longer believe the illusion. Your world has inevitably changed from a plan to simply the here and the now. You're here right now, listening to this video. So what will it be? Who will you be? Where do you go from here? In this world of entropy and chaos, of zombies running on autopilot all around you, what direction do you choose? I really want to say that the world is yours, but we know that this is not true. But your fate is yours, and your dreams are. And your ability to live those dreams is absolute. But give yourself a reality check. You're now stepping on solid ground. You know this world inside out, and you know you. Achieve what's possible and forget the impossible. Forget the dreams of love and affection, slay those false gods, and walk with certainty to the abyss, because I know one thing for sure, we will all be beaten by it. But I don't know about you when that time comes, when I'm lying on my deathbed. I don't want to be regretting lost loves. I don't want to be thinking about that one woman that I lost. I want to smile over the things that I have done and I have achieved, over everything that was and helped to make be. I want to be full of individual experiences, of simple pleasures, and not regret of idealistic and childish admirations. Above all, I'm a man and I want to die as such. And to do that, it doesn't ever mean to kill this child inside, but to allow this child to be free with an adult brain and an adult body to guide it. There are no social expectations of a child. The child doesn't understand any reality further than the one that he sees. But this child has learned and has become a man, and it's time for all men to let the baggage, their baggage, on the floor and walk again free. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you specifically to Red Pilled Chemist for the music. This track was called Hello My Brethren, and I want to sincerely thank him for it. I very much appreciate it. Go and check his channel out. He's a cool dude and makes great content, and of course great music, which he also uses in his videos.